Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Game Day Squad's Aussie Rules live show. We're in for a big one today. I can't lie. First of all, we have something huge that we're going to announce a little bit later, and we'll sneak peek into it. And I think that I have my personal biggest announcement of the season so far. But of course, I'm here and joined by my trusty co-host and good friend, although I dominate him in fantasy, Cal. Cal, mate, how you going today? You ready to chop up this round that's about to be talk some fantasy footy?
I really am, mate. Good to be here. Hello to everyone following along this fine Thursday evening. Fantasy footy can't be worse than what it was last week. It cannot be worse.
Could be.
My squad decimated with injuries like so many other coaches. Myself embarrassed by calling it Max Gawn week, and Max Gawn barely showed up. So, yeah, I'm ready to put round 8 behind us and get stuck into some round 9. And I've also got a pretty special, exciting, whatever word you want to use, announcement I teased on the Discord. So if you did see that message and you're new to the Game Day Aussie Rules show, welcome. We've got that coming up. And if you are tuning in, there is an announcement coming. So stay tuned.
Awesome, man. Well, I reckon we started off how we normally do. And for all of our early birds that are here at the moment, any questions you ask that you want to know about the round, players you should be starting, please feel free to shoot ahead and we'll answer them as we continue on the live. And of course, we'll dish up some rewards for some good ones that are answered and that are pulled up on the screen. But Cal, big news, lineups just dropped. Why don't we quickly talk about some of the bigger names? I think the first big name, Darcy out for Freo.
Can I tell you something?
Go on.
I changed my squad in that 5 minutes since when the theme song was playing there at the start.
Of course,
and it involves Sean Darcy. So
you've started Jackson.
I've started Jackson. Okay. But it was a straight swap for Waterman, who's also out this week with an injury. He's been in some fantastic form for the Eagles. Never thought I'd be saying that. A goal kicker for the Eagles in fantastic form. Sad to see him go. But yeah, I've got to take a few risks now with where I'm sitting at the leaderboard. We'll get to exactly how far I fell in a moment. But yeah, he was the big one. I've made the change. I
do have a feeling a couple of people will do that now that that's actually been confirmed, because Jackson at the start of the year was just fantastic. When a solo ruck, we love that, especially in fantasy as a forward. So I do have a feeling, Cal, you will not be the only one that takes the dive into there. And who knows, I might get inside my own head and think about that matchup as well. But it is against Grundy, so it's not going to be a walk.
Yeah, it could be a nice emotional hedge for you.
Yeah.
So that way, if he is tearing up your boy, you could feel somewhat good.
Let's ease up. He won't be tearing up. But the other big news, as you said, was Waterman out. But honestly, not too much big news. Pretty relaxed week in regards to fantasy. And the thing that shocked me the most, Tom Green is apparently healthy to play. I don't know. Issues with Tommy Green. Apparently, he couldn't play for my squad last week, but now he's good to go again. Is that right, Cal?
Yeah, I'm more surprised that Tom Green wasn't. Is like not in the squad this week than it was that Connor Rozee was last week. So I don't know what has happened. I'm so glad to see Connor Rozee's been subbed out. Thankfully, we're not going to make that mistake again. Yeah. Can you imagine that? Takes you 2 weeks to realize someone's done their hamstring.
Well, I'll give Ken credit. He's finally pulled out Rozee after the second week of the hammy going. So at least at some point he realized it's probably worth resting your best player when he's injured. So good on him. He's really growing. He's excelling in his coaching role at Port Adelaide, as you would say. I want to skip. I'm going to pull up this question. We'll give you a pack for this, but I'm going to answer this later on. So I might leave this for now, and Cal, I'll get you to hop in on that discussion as well.
Yeah, I think my squad, I've got one of them in there, so I think that'll show you who I'm going with this week. That'll be nice and easy. So
alrighty, same as well. So okay, let's go. Zach Hammond here. Play Gawn tonight. Looks pretty wet. Lots of stoppages. In all honesty, I probably would have played Gawn anyway. I don't know Carlton. They're just not going to have an answer for Max Gawn tonight. Maybe it's Max Gawn week.
Yeah, imagine that. Imagine that. I've missed it by a week. I think it should be a really good game. I don't know the conditions, so if it does look pretty wet, that is quite interesting because that doesn't play into the favour of maybe some of the other players around the ground. But yeah, definitely for him. But I was going to say there's not like there's a ton of actually relevant players playing tonight, maybe outside of Gawn.
It's crazy to say when you had Clayton Oliver and 20 23 literally had the highest average for a good portion of it.
Well, yeah, like Oliver, and then like
to be fair,
Newman in the rain or coming off half back again if it's wet, probably not. Probably not a game then to stream in someone like Harry Mackay or Charlie Curnow. So yeah.
Good call. Let's move on, Cal. Let's get into it.
Oh, we get straight into it.
I think we do, man. We have an announcement to make, and I've been itching to get to this. Cal,
you've made me look like a munchkin again. With the oversized head.
It's like until you can get a record against me this season of 500, you're officially a munchkin for the rest of it. So
yeah, you're right. You're probably right the way I'm competing against you this year. What have we got? We teased it in the Discord. I was just checking with a few people. Most people think this is actually a Cricket World Cup announcement. It's not. That one comes next week. We've got a few goodie announcements. So this is an actual announcement, but there are lots of announcements within the next week. So that's a little bonus announcement. But the actual announcement here, Tom, the drum roll, I've actually included, haven't seen this. I've included it on the next slide. Something has been in the works for quite a while. A lot of people have been asking for it. Flick it over.
Now?
Flick it over.
Alrighty.
Oh, you've taken my head off. Multi-comps are just around the corner. So starting in the first...
Oh, my goodness.
Starting in a few weeks' time. I can get you the exact round here in a moment. Sorry, I should have had that up. It's the end of the month. Whatever the last round is at the end of the month, I'll get you the date in a second.
Probably like the 13th, 14th round.
Yeah. I'll be able to pull it up here so I can give it to people exactly. It'll be round 12. So starting the 30th of May, coaches will be able to not only compete in multiple competitions at the same time, but they'll also be able to compete in 2 brand new competitions that we've got going. That first one you can see called our starter competition, which is going to be a bronze-only competition. It's the only cards you can play.
Maybe you can compete in that one. That would be good for you.
You know what? I now have 4 bites of the cherry every single week to try and beat you.
Don't say that, because you might have a couple 0-4s and then you might be out of here very quickly.
I could very well be out of here. And then we've also got that Challenger competition, which I know we've been wanting for quite some time. So hopefully that is going to be the home for a lot of the gold and platinum cards that don't currently have a home in either the champion or classic competition.
So that salary cap, 16.5 mil. So it's really going to make those cards relevant. And
it's
going to some of those premiums,
Yeah, so we've targeted that salary cap. It's going to be right down the middle. It's almost half gold, half platinum, similar to how the classic's half bronze, half silver.
Alrighty, Cal. Look, I have some questions, and I'm sure that people currently sitting down might have the same questions. Let's get the obvious one out of the way. You're not going to reset my progress of smashing you right now. What happens to the competitions that I'm currently in?
So only yours gets reset. Everyone else's stays the exact same. So classic and champion competition, and I'm talking for all the different sports that are currently in progress at the moment. No changes to how the current season's going, no changes to the prize structure, nothing like that. It's just business as usual. The only difference is you're going to be having more people competing in your competition, because if you're someone playing in the champion all season, you can now field a team in the classic as well. So it's going to be that little bit more competitive at the top, which is tough for someone like me who's already finding it tough this season. But maybe for someone like you, it could be nice and easy because you're doing quite well. So yeah, not resetting the progress for coaches there.
The second one, then, do you have to compete in all these competitions, or can you just have a main one? Like, let's say I'm just comfy. I'm comfy in classic. I'm doing my thing. That's where I want to live. That's where I want to stay. Do I need to put any attention to the others? It's not going to hurt me, is it?
No, definitely not. They're like all our competitions here at Game Day Squad. They are all free to enter. So if you don't actually want to put yourself into any of the other new competitions or into the other one you're not playing, you don't have to. You can just keep in your one. Maybe you go, I've got my cards for the classic. That's the one I'm in. You just keep rolling with that. So there's always that opportunity. And because we've got our weekly competitions and most of it, or the majority of our prize money is all across the weeks, you can decide one week you're going to give the champion a go. And then if it's not for you, then don't sweat. You can move your cards over back to the challenger or do things like that, because that's probably something that's important to call out. You can't use the same card over multiple competitions.
That
So
was
the
going to be my next
example,
question. So thank goodness, because if you had a Legend, Sheasel, Dacos, any of those, you just can't be slapping them onto all of them, right? So good.
Correct. So
Thank
my
goodness.
prize, Connor Rosé, he's got to find one home. So probably for me with the season this year, it's going to be he's going to stay in the Classic. But if I decided I wanted to try and the Challenger, I could push him up into that or into the Champion as well. So I'm excited because, as you know, I've got one Legend card, Todd Marshall, full forward of Port Adelaide. I've been sitting here. He's been sitting there waiting to get a run. He's been on my bench for 12 months. So when the multiple competitions come in at the end of this month, he's going to get himself a game in the champion competition. He can't wait. So yeah, I'm going to have, hopefully there's, I know there's a lot of coaches out there with a lot of cards. So there's going to be a bit more use for them now. So I'm super excited about that.
That is sick. But Cal, anything else you want to point out? Sorry, before we go. Nicely.
Yeah, there's going to be some more formal announcements over the next, either tomorrow or early next week. The support documents are already starting to be updated, so you can start going and having a look at them. And then, we'll be some more communications on our Discord tonight. So if you're not already, jump over onto Discord. Feel free, have any questions you've got, more than happy to answer them. But yeah, I'm super excited. I know our dev team have been working quite hard on it. And one of the other things I just want to call out as another bonus thing here, the way we've built the game, I'm super excited about this, because how we've done it now, as you know, Tom, is we can actually, I'm just realizing, I don't know if anyone's called this out, sorry, the platform announcement at the top. Good spelling. That one was me. I can't blame Tom on that one. So apologies there for my spelling coming to the front. Sorry, that's distracted me. What I'm super excited about is we now have the ability to create other custom competitions. So if we wanted to say do a gather round competition, and we can set the requirements. Hey, one player from every team, 18 players only. Who are you going? Bang. Or we can do it. Maybe it's a game tonight. The marquee game is Melbourne versus Carlton, and we do a special competition for that. Requirements: they must play for Carlton or Melbourne. Done. So we can get quite creative with it, and I'm super excited. So hopefully that provides a bit of excitement along the season as well. So really looking forward.
Challenges, some special weeks. That sounds fantastic.
Looking forward to it.
Cal, let's move her along, because we have about 20 or 33 minutes to the first bounce. Normally we take about 45 anyway. We've been sitting here cooking for a little bit, Cal. I want to tell you the Geelong versus Port game, it's danger. It just screams fantasy danger game to me. I just feel like I don't know who's going to be a good scorer in that, and I don't know if I want to risk having players from those squads this week. It's tough. I feel like, Butters had an awesome game last week, and he didn't even score that well. Too many handballs. I'm staying away from it. All right. That's my point of the round. No, not going to that game. There's one player I have in that game. One.
I'm all for that, mate. I'm staying away from that game. I don't know why anyone would watch it. I don't know. Should be a bit of a dull affair. Port should get flogged. Yeah, I don't know really what you're doing. So fair enough. I'll be watching our Swannies game instead, I reckon. What do you reckon? They're playing 2 games on a Friday night. That caught me off guard. So yeah.
I won't indulge in that silly comment of Al.
Hey, mate.
If you want to watch the Swans game whilst I'm also watching it, that's cool.
There'll be no argument in my household about what game's going up, and it's definitely not the Port game. What I am going to argue, though, is I need to keep my eyes on Harry Sheasel, and I reckon a lot of people are going to be doing that as well, because last week he had the role change that no one in the fantasy world wanted. We thought it was coming, so I'm hoping like crazy the highest scoring player in the game finds a way to go back to that role he was in. So yeah, I reckon I've got the spoiler. He's in my squad this week because he is my all-star, but I tell you what, someone that was an absolute lock could find himself out next week if it looks like he's back into that role as well. So,
alrighty, I hear. A lot of good matchups this week, man. Freo Swans, very fantasy relevant matchup in my eyes. You've got Essendon, GWS, two of the fastest transitioning teams in the comp. There should be plenty of points there. Hawthorn Saints, same thing. I just see, the ball's going to be swinging from end to end. And what might be the most fantasy relevant game, at least for one player, Collingwood West Coast. That is going to be good for fantasy. Scoreboard wise, I'm actually a bit torn between that. I feel like West Coast are going to come in and put their best foot forward and give them a red hot crack at that.
Yeah, I'd love to see it. I definitely would. That last game should be juicy as well. I could see the Crows getting a win in that, causing an upset. Can you bring up Justin's comment? He's asked about the multi-comps. I know we want to get into the footy, but I think it is a good competition because what I can say, the one where he was saying
This
about
one here?
that's the one. Where should he, when it starts, should I play my All-Star Marshall in the Classic or Challenger? So again, it comes down to personal preference. However, because we're not changing the prize pool for the Classic and Champion competition, the Classic is still where there's going to be the majority of money in it. So I'd imagine most coaches will still lean towards the Classic. However, like I said before, keep an eye on how we release the Cricket World Cup because the prize structure for that is going to be very similar to how we do prize structures, not only for footy next season, but for most of our competitions going forward. So that should help coaches decide which competition's right for them when they're trying to build their squad and put their cards together.
Yeah, awesome. All right, Cal, let's go. Peanut butters this week, mate. Rip in.
Yeah, I go through this one pretty quickly. Bye-bye, Rosie. First time he's left my squad. It looked boring without him there in the middle. I hate that I accidentally swapped in Dawson for him. It wasn't the poured out player the Crows in, but yeah, it was tough. Tell you what though, it does make the midfield conversation even harder because it's always tough for me. But at least there's always one set and forget there for me. And this week there's no set and forget. So I had to really think about all 6 of those players that I wanted to play. Number 2, I'm planning to spread the love. And it's not quite my squad. And you always give me crap for changing my squad throughout the weekend. But I tell you what, I haven't had a chance to really dive into it this week. But there is a lot of changes that I do want to make. And the 2 that I'm not going to be able to unless we finish this up pretty quickly is I wanted to put Walsh down to a silver and Gawn down to a silver. And I'd love to spread that out, give English a little bit, put Sarong a little bit. And I still might do that with Geordie Dawson. And I'm thinking about taking it off Dan Houston as well. So normally I play a lot of platinums in the middle. I've gone against that this week because I'm not as confident in some of those big matchups. But Gawn is still the number 1 ruck. So that's why I just wanted to call that out. I missed it last week. I'm going to get in trouble. Yes, the corporate ruse. Waterman is injured. That he has been swapped out of my squad. I did that in the when the teams were announced when the things were playing. So Luke Jackson is now currently sitting in that Waterman spot. So don't worry, no goose egg for me there. But that's my squad. Hopefully, you can see I've only dropped down 3 spots, so it could have been a lot worse considering I finished close to like 200th or something. So yeah, thankfully I'm still thereabouts, but yeah, nice. need to get a win against you this week. Show me what I'm up against.
Interesting. Well, first of all, are you ready for this?
Ready as I'll ever be.
That's why he's the GOAT. GOAT. Welcome, my debutante, the GOAT, the best to ever bloody do it, man. Tim English, all-star to the squadron. Let's go. Oh, Cal, it's over. If you ever thought there was a chance, it's officially over.
First of all, I'm not surprised. I called this out a week ago, and your poker face is awful. But I tell you what, geez, that's a nice looking card. I'd take him off you this week if I could. I still think I don't agree with the GOAT status. I think that's a bit rough. But yeah, take us through the rest of it. Take us through the rest of it.
All right, I know you're getting upset now. I'm sorry. I was very excited.
Kicking me when I'm down. Come on.
Let's go. I'm thinking about this. No, he's not on my squad currently, but does he deserve a spot? Because I'm thinking Hawthorn, that matchup screams points to me. I'm currently on the fence. I don't know. I guess if I was going to make a substitution, I'm thinking Dunkley. But the tough part is Dunkley's coming off such a ripper game as well. He's got that Crows matchup. You did say that should be pretty tasty. So I'm really torn between those 2 currently. I really don't know where I'm going to go.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd be rushing back to Jack Steele unless I sort of see him. He obviously had an awesome start to the year, 125, 132, 135, 147, 140. But he's had a couple of dud scores since. So I would wait personally until I see him go 130, 140 before I think I'd be rushing him back in. But
fair enough.
But again, the matchup.
You see where I'm at with it. Currently, Dunkley's got the nod, but I am thinking about it. It's definitely the consideration I want to make. I want to answer Skip's question from before. Actually, who was yours as well? Sorry,
I went Sinclair.
Same.
Apologies, Skip.
Okay. Sinclair. I think Jack Sinclair, one of the things that Hawthorn loves to leak is points to midfielders, which is why I'm on the fence about Steele. Sinclair's been getting a bit more time in that midfield for the Saints. I feel like this is a Sinclair game. He's also coming off a pretty monstrous performance as well of like 180-something points. Or whatever it was. It's absurd amount. Either way, I think Jack Sinclair is going to kill it this week, and that's why I'm giving him the nod over Wanganeen Miller. So, yeah.
Well, next one's interesting. Tell me about Whitfield to bounce back because...
Whitfield to bounce back.
Yeah, I didn't have him in my squad this week. I just haven't picked him. He could find himself back there. But I tell you what, you've got Harry Sheasel down there as well. And you've got him I've
dropped Harry Sheasel down to a silver because of the role. I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. But Whitfield, tagged last week, look, nasty, combined with the conditions. It was just a tough day in the office. But I'm super confident he's going to be back to his best against Essendon. I don't see him getting tagged in that game. And I see that being fast-paced, free-flowing, Lockie Whitfield's name all over that. So that's why I'm super confident. And I made this call with Bradley Hill last week. I said 110 plus. I think he got 119. So trust me, I'm going to give you the good advice. Next one, Caldwell. If he's healthy, should I play him? I'm really concerned because, look, maybe I sub out Mackay. It's wet right now.
You're running out of time. You are running out of time. 65 last week.
He subbed out in the third. Like, he was having a good game. Again, it's against the Giants. Their midfield usually is pretty good at nullifying some of the other mids, but I am very concerned. Currently, I don't have him because I'm that concerned. Let's say that.
Yeah, I think, and well, I'll tell you, we can sort of see a little bit, but I can't wait for another feature that's going to be coming in hopefully next month, towards the end of next month, when we start doing some upgrades to our stats, is releasing the percentage selected by. Because I feel like someone like Caldwell this week is going to have a really low selected by percentage. It could be a really, really good pod, but he's that because he's a risk. A lot of those people up near the top aren't going to be playing him because there are some other pretty good options. It's not like it's, there's no one to pick through in the forward line. So,
100%. No, I hear you there. I hear you.
But I just saw a couple of comments from Desync popped up there. I'm not playing Gorn. You ruined him for me. I'm very sorry. He's going to bounce back. Still have faith. I'm not quite on the I was pretty high on him next week. I'm not going to start a cult like Tom has over Tim English.
First of all, it's very intelligent individuals who have a collective agreement on something, and it's this right here.
Did the goat just move? Anyway, but yeah, Harry Mackay in the wet. I'll be keen to see if he's still there in the end. But yeah, what do we got?
Because it's tough for time. It's my tiers, Cal. Now, I put some extra work into this week. I am going to go through my tiers. You can let me know what you think of them. Roast me as much as you want. Ask me some questions on some of them. And I might just start cooking here, Cal. And if there's any good ones, just pull me up. Let's take a second to answer.
I won't be pulling you up on the good ones. Don't worry.
As in good questions from other people. Bailey Dale against Richmond should suit him nicely, especially considering his form. I'm thinking Silver, great. Dawson, he's at home, prime time on the Sunday. The only reason that he's not higher for me is I'm worried about the Crows' performance. Can they, as a team, stay in the game? And is Dawson going to get his hands enough on the footy to be able to dominate? That's a concern for me. Next one, Walsh. He's just Sam Walsh. And the form that he's in tonight, even if it's a bit sloppy, I understand. I just think he's going to dominate on that inside. I'm not worried about him at all. But I know you want to pull up something. Go for it.
I want to talk about Dylan Moore.
Okay, why don't we work down the line and then we can get to Dylan Moore as I'm doing.
I didn't know you were going to go through every single one line by line. You've never done that before.
As I mentioned,
all right, fair enough. You've obviously put some time into this. You're very sensitive about it. It's all right. Go on, mate.
Dunks has got the nod at the moment. He's in ripper form. I expect similar in the Crows matchup where he should be able to dominate, especially, as I said, like I'm really worried about the Crows, not so worried about the Lions and how they're going to perform. Although they have been known to not play as well outside of home and debuting. First of all, in my squad personally, which you would have saw him on my bench, Cal, if you noticed. But in Tom's tiers this year, I think this matchup is so tasty. I'm loving it against the Saints. I spoke about how there's going to be an abundance of fantasy points coming out of it. I think Dylan Moore's one of the players that's going to reap the benefits of that. So Dylan Moore, for the first time, welcome to Tom's Tiers. Good player. Can't believe he hasn't been in here beforehand, but I think this is the week, and it's the right week to put him in. I'm very confident in that. And if you are on the fence about some forwards and you haven't started Dylan Moore, I'd highly consider it for this week.
Well, I was going to say last week was definitely the week to do it because he was good. But yeah, I did think about him too. I did think about him.
He's been up and down. Let's not get it twisted. It's definitely a risk.
St Kilda do give up a lot of points to those mid and medium forwards.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I'm thinking he's tasty. I want him.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he's in a few people's squads this week. Could there be an upset? Tassie always throws up something a bit interesting. So, yeah. No strong objections yet.
Excellent. I like to hear that, Cal. Zorko, because how can't you after last week? I think that's enough said. All-time record. Maybe he should be higher. That might be the only criticism that I'll take there. But Zorko, ripper form, not worried about the role anymore after what I saw last week. How bloody good did he play? I've been slack with Heaney, first of all, for all my tiers this season. But now it's time to place him where he belongs. Freo won't know which way to go when Heaney starts dominating that midfield. So get the highest Isaac Heaney, or at least in gold, in my opinion, because he's playing mids. He's going to dominate. It's a tasty matchup, and he might be one of the highest scoring players for the round.
So that's an interesting one because Freo don't give up a lot to mids. And then their forwards as well. So they really are good at clamping down. Do you know why? Because they spend half the time with the ball in Luke Ryan's hand out the back, just getting these cheap kicks. They just control the game. It just keeps it away. Jeez. So I did actually think about fading Heaney this week. And I want to know if I'm a bit crazy for it. I know he's probably winning the Brownlow, and I know I'm sitting here wearing this. But
I think overall you're looking at it, but if you go back and look at their games, most of the better players in like key matchups actually win against Freo. And I'm looking at Isaac Heaney as being one of those key matchups on the inside. Who's going to win? Maybe some of the other players don't impact as much, but Heaney should be in for a big one this week. Caleb Sarong, mate, he's going to get heaps of tough pill on the weekend. Tackles, solid game all around, in my opinion. Deserving of a gold card for sure. Sinclair, playing more time in the mids. I spoke about the Hawthorn matchup. I want all of this matchup personally, and we'll be playing up to a gold for Sinclair in this particular round.
Yeah, no strong objections. You're going so far, so good. All right, now you're a bit silly.
Silly? Which one do you think is silly?
It's not Flanders.
Okay. Well, look, I left a note here. Sheasel. I trust him, but I'm very scared. Please, and then a side note, please don't play in the mids. Defense is the best, and screw the rest is exactly what I had down on my notes. So, Sheasel, don't do it. Don't do it now, all right? The coach says hop in the midfield, say, I'm just not up to it today. I'd rather play in the back line.
Yeah, good luck saying no to Clarko. I feel like it'd be very.
It's a quick way to getting subbed out of the game.
Yeah, so I'm very scared about Sheasel. I'm surprised he's so high. Even Flanders has been terrific this year. He's been putting up some good scores, but I don't know if I'd be playing the platinum with him. I'm running around with the silver. I have played the gold, but the platinum, that's a
big ask. I understand.
But it's a lot of trust. He is playing against North. He's playing against North. That's why.
He's got North. That's why. I think very North matchup again. He's just going to be that connector for the Suns. He's going to be sitting at the back. They're going to play it real slow. They're going to be precise with their kicking. And Sam Flanders might be the best leg in their defense. So why wouldn't you want it in his hands coming out?
And shout out, just so I see popping up here, to MP Fantasy Zone saying hello, welcome, love to have you on board.
Hello,
big fantasy fan. So, come on, show us who's in your diamond tiers.
Diamond tiers, Zach Merritt, because in my eyes he's matchup proof, and you can't change my mind. All right, Zach Merritt hasn't had a single bad game this year, and if I'm going to put salary cap of a diamond on a player, I want a good floor. And Zach Merritt is literally that and more for you. So, mate, Zachy Merritt, well deserving of a diamond, in my opinion. And Nick Dacos is back for me. West Coast, they should be strong, but Dacos is going to be Collingwood's best on, in my opinion. And you're going to want all of Nick Dacos this week. So, those two super, super strong people to put in your squads this week, and would be putting as much salary cap or nearly as much as you possibly can in the game.
Yeah, I've gone back to gold on Dacos, and if I
You saw that for me as well. Yeah, back
if
to
I wasn't
gold.
spreading the love around, I'd be I'd even be thinking about deploying that platinum I have of him. You know what? When we've got those multi competitions, I'll be able to deploy all the versions of Nick Dacos. He'd be in every single squad that I'm rolling out. Zachy Merritt, I've got the platinum of that at the moment, but yeah, I don't know. He kicked 3 goals last week and had one of his lowest scoring games for the year, which made no sense. But yeah, you're right. If you are going to pick a midfielder, he's a pretty good one to pick. I don't know if he's going to win the Brownlow this thing, but he'll go close. He'll be Essendon's top scoring player, that's for sure. So
top players, let's go. No surprise here. Let me read out my notes. Firstly, English is against Nankervis. That's barbecue chicken right there. Nankervis, mate, you're in for the toughest day in your life on the weekend, and English is going to eat. He's hungry.
I don't need to talk about Timmy anymore. Goulden against Freo.
Do you want my opinion on this?
Give it to me, because I currently don't have Goulden in my squad. Can you change my mind just like
Hopefully not. I don't want to change your mind, but I'm going to give you my opinion. Goulden is my top score prediction for this week, everyone. I actually think Goulden top scores in the entire competition. I reckon this is the matchup where he explodes.
Be careful about that.
I can. I will be, and I'll stick to my tiers.
Did you not see me get burnt and just paraded through the streets all week? I think, I'm tell you what, I'm going to agree with the corporate ruse here. You've got Goulden all way too high. Like he's good. He's very good.
Okay. Hey, you're allowed to disagree.
Yeah,
sure.
Are you putting him above Walsh, Sarong, even Dunkley? Like,
I quite literally have cows.
Yeah, I just don't know how you can have him tiers above. Like, yeah. Anyway, I think you're a bit silly for that one. I think it's a bit too high.
Maybe it comes back to bite me in the bum, but it's my call this week. I'm making it.
I shouldn't be talking so bad down on our boy too. So
now, Cal, normally we get into this, but I want to talk about a call that you made last week. At the end of my tiers, you had the audacity to put out and be like, it's Max Gawn week. I can't believe he didn't put him at legend, blah, blah, blah. And for anyone that was here, first of all, comment if you were here in our live, because welcome back this week. It's lovely to have you. But I've thought about a punishment, all right?
Oh, yeah.
I got you to send me a list of players before, and I don't quite know if you thought what I was talking about, because when I read the list, I was like, my goodness, there's some bloody good names in here. And do you know one of my favorite things, and this is shout out to Hef here from the Keeper League, love a bit of Hef, but we went to an event one time and we had people chanting, spin the wheel, spin the wheel. So what I've done is I've made a wheel and I've had it here ready to go. And as you can see, there's some fantastic names on here, and you'll see a little letter on the side indicate what tier. So, for example,
this is
we have a Walsh Platinum that
you've stitched me up. So I've sent you through all the players that played in my squad last week, but except I can't see my Rosie or my.
I couldn't do that to you first,
and my Harry Sheasel.
I couldn't do those cards, but what I could do is I could do all the rest, and I thought I'd chuck in some bronzes to replace them. And I think as punishment, we had a great, or at least I had a great time today, discussing with the Discord, being like, what should Cow's punishment be? I couldn't come to something solid, but I thought this would be a good substitute. So,
can we give a shout out to the corporate ruse? Shave head and grow the Gawn beard. Firstly, I can't grow a beard. This would be like a week's growth for me, so it'd be a very, very long stretch. And no, I'm getting married in a few months, and if I walk down the aisle with a fake Gawn beard and a shaved head, I might not get a wife at the end of it. So probably not the time to be doing that. But I tell you what, there are a few good other ones in the Discord. That's for sure.
Cal, I want you to pick a name in the chat.
It's got to be someone I like. I'm going to give it to the Corporate Ruse for the shave head and the grow the Gorn
Corporate
beard.
Ruse. See these fingers crossed right now? That's for Platinum Sam Walsh. Good luck, mate. Spin the wheel.
I might need to make a change to my squad. If this is like my gold,
wheel.
I played the Platinum
Spin
Gorn.
the wheel. Spin the wheel. Spin the wheel. Tell me.
I can live with that.
Okay.
Whitfield bronze. Listen, he's not on my squad, so it's not going to hurt this week. Do I have a spare? Shout out. Well, hopefully that helps, Corporate Ruse. I don't actually have a spare bronze, so that means I'm going to have to go fishing for one. So congratulations.
Tough day, Cal. Tough day. Unfortunately, mate. I had fun with that.
Probably fair for getting everyone on the Gorn train and then leading them down the wrong path. So, yeah.
Alrighty. Let's get back on track. Let's get into our blind pack giveaways where we sell, keep, and we give one away, Cal. I am here ready to go with our packs. I've gone back to the 2 because I knew you're giving away something. Maybe you can replace your Whitfield here somewhere for yourself, but I'll let you start off here because this is a bit of a brighter note and you need something to lift up the spirits after letting go of your bronze Whitfield.
Yeah, well, shout out. I know Corporate just said definitely will help with the multi-comps. It absolutely will. I definitely will because I'm going to want to play that Whitfield in, potentially could be playing him in 3 competitions. When you think about it, you've got the classic who's playing at the moment. And even in the challenger competition, you might go the strategy where you're playing bronzes and diamonds, or you can go down the middle. So there's a bit of flexibility there. So you never know. But yeah, let's see if we can get to sync a legendary card. Come on, mate. Let's do it.
That's legendary, actually, firstly. But yes, let's see. You ready?
Don't reveal the cards. I'm going to go left to right.
I'm pumped. Why do I have a feeling? Could this be the one? I have a feeling. I'm getting too excited.
Can we hover just in case? Because I don't, and I'm thinking about it. Just in the 0.017% chance or whatever it is.
Oh my goodness.
Oh.
I thought it could be. It's a diamond though. But I have tingles, bro. I thought that was it. A legend.
I thought imagine that it was a big Maxi Gorn legend. All right, Desync, I'm known for looking after myself in this, and I'm not sure that anything's going to change, but we'll see.
Where do you want to start?
Start left. We'll go left to right. Who we got there? I can't see. Patton.
From the Saints. I think that's a transfer.
That's going on the market for a cent.
Where would you like to go from here? We've got a silver. We have a diamond.
We've got to go the silver. Johnson.
Goodness gracious.
You know what? I'm thinking about this. Maybe the fact I'm 1-8 this season has been because I haven't been looking after the people on our show. So maybe, karma. Yeah, I'm thinking the karma benefit here. But then also, if you flip that card, look at that. if I flip that card and it's like, I don't know, someone awful.
Dacos?
Yeah, all right, Desync. I'm keeping Johnson. Desync, this is all yours. Good luck. There you go.
Okay, Jack Viney. He came out last week as well.
Hey,
Viney loves this segment, by the way.
You know where Viney's going to go? That's a really good card because he's going to be a fantastic pod for Desync when he's playing in the Challenger or the Champion competition 100%. At the end of this month when it launches. So yeah, that
100%. Viney's we taking that.
If you don't want it to sync, we'll swap that. You can have Johnson. I'll have Viney. Just hit me up on the Discord. Corporate Ruse, make sure you find me in the Discord as well. I'll give you that card that you owe as well. No, thank you, Desync, for all your ongoing support. Tom, good luck. Try and beat that. Try and get the diamond.
Yeah, can do. Well, legend, you mean? I can't get a diamond, I don't think. It's either I haven't been good in this segment for tiers, but I've been good with the players every once in a while. And I'm going to hook up my man, Justin Wood. Big Woody. I reckon I'm feeling good, Woody. Let's go.
Was that you being scared of saying his last name?
Woodruff?
No, you nailed it. Well done. Under pressure. Under pressure, you've delivered. Two silvers and a gold.
Feeling a bit freaky. Let's go, Sen.
Ooh.
Let's go. I'll keep this and come on. Woody, something good for you here, mate.
Oh, yeah, there, right? Let's look up. When he's not tagging Lockie Whitfield out of the game, it's pretty good.
Love that. Okay, well, you know where to find me on the Discord. I am Game Day Tom. Come find me. Pulled up any of your questions throughout the night. If you're owed any cards.
Also, another free way to get cards. I'm not sure if coaches have been seeing our weekly email. Go check that out because there's a section called Coach's Corner. So if you're there collecting some cards off Tom, say you want to be the coach of the week, and you could win yourself a few, or you will win yourself a few more cards if you're selected and we feature you in our weekly coach spotlight. So
for sure.
Yeah, shout out Tom. I know you run that, so well done. But I reckon we should go with some footy. I can't wait.
Hey,
game starts in a few minutes.
I do as well, but before we bounce, of course, let's talk about some predictions. I want to get some predictions in the chat. Who's going to win this one? Head to head, Carlton, Melbourne, Cal. I want your opinion first, mate. Who are you backing in for this one?
I think the Blues turn it around. I know they've lost 2 in a row. They've been a lot better than they could have easily won those 2 games. Yeah, I reckon they'll win. Okay.
I'm going to play the opposite side. I think Melbourne are going to come out here. Oliver looked a bit better last week. They haven't been playing fantastic, but they've been doing enough to tick along. In the wet, though, I'm worried about their goal kicking. Their goal kicking's bad at the best of times, let alone in the wet. So we'll see. But I'm getting Melbourne. That inside game with Max Gawn should be dominating today. What about everyone in the chat? How many players do we have in tonight's game as well? Cal, how many do you have? I've got Gawn.
I've got Gawn and Walsh at the moment.
And Walsh, correct.
They're currently both golds. I want to get that Walsh down, but I don't have a Walsh silver. I don't even have I've got a bronze Walsh, so maybe I do that and try and free up the capital and try and put it on a merit or someone if it is going to be raining. You've got to go 2 minutes. I've got to go check out just how much it is.
Melbourne and not Carlton out of the 8, where they'll remain for the rest of the season. The D's just getting it done from the corporate ruse. So I agree with you there. Mate, it's going to be a fantastic game. Everyone, go grab yourself a snack, get a beverage, and get ready for a good night of footy. Thank you all so much for coming out. Cal, thanks for being a good sport. I know that would have been tough to see that wheel spin and a potential platinum Walsh in this game.
I just appreciate you not fully stitching me up and putting the prize card Rosie in there. That might have been a very, very sad night, but I'm glad.
I'm glad for you. And I wouldn't do that to you, mate. I know how much that means to you. And, I also own a prize card that I have never debuted. So I'll know that feeling one day, just not until next season.
All right. Well, let's go win yourself another one. Thank you, everyone, for jumping on. Been an awesome show, and we'll catch you next week.